Like to call this meeting to order at the Town of Pelletier Board of Commissioners. It's 6:30, Monday, December the 4th, 2023. Roll call.
Commissioner Benson?
Here.
Commissioner Taylor?
Here.
Mayor Sowers?
Here.
Commissioner Mason?
Here.
Commissioner Bragg?
Here.
Commissioner Tim Quinn?
Here.
All right, let's all stand for the pledge and invocation, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Walter, will you lead us, please?
Our Father, come tonight, again, thank you for this town, and thank you for each person who devotes their time and energies to the development of this town. And we ask you, Lord, that we would tonight into this meeting. And we hope, pray, Lord, that everything that is said, everything that's done will be in accordance with your good and perfect will. And we ask for your guidance in everything. We ask these things in the name of our precious Savior. Amen.
Next is the approval of the agenda. If there's no changes to the agenda, do I hear a motion to approve as written?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next is the approval of the minutes of the November 13th, 2023 meeting. If there's no changes, do I hear a motion to approve as written?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next is the swearing in of the elected officials. And I guess I'm first.
on the chopper block.
If you raise your right hand, I state your name,
I, Dale Sowers,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
I will support and maintain
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and the laws of North Carolina,
and the laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will
and that I will
faithfully discharge
faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as mayor.
as mayor.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, raise your right hand. I state your name.
State your name.
Only got one.
I, Alan Walker,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
and maintain
and maintain
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws of the United
and
States
the laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of North
and the
Carolina,
laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my
the
office
duties of my office
as Commissioner.
as Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Sonny. You raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Sonny Mason,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of North Carolina,
and the laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will
and that I will
faithfully discharge
faithfully discharge
the duties of my
the
office
duties of my office
as Commissioner.
as Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One to go.
You had to say the best one for that.
That's right.
That's right.
If you raise your right hand.
Yes, sir.
I state your name.
I, David Bragg,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the laws of the United
and
States,
the laws of the United States,
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of North Carolina,
and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent
not
therewith,
inconsistent therewith,
and that I will
and that I will
faithfully discharge
faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as Commissioner.
as Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett, for doing that.
Absolutely.
Did a good job.
All right, we'll move on to department report. Code Enforcement Officer, Lieutenant Chris Jensen.
Good evening, gentlemen. Make this quick tonight. I kind of got thin on it. Let's see, November was about trying to get the Pedder for Red situation squared away. A lot of the properties on Pettiford Road are overgrown into the ditch lines, and we had discussed that in the last meeting. Instead of it being 12 property owners, 15 was the number I believe. No, I'm sorry, 18. 18 properties and 15 owners, I think, is the final tally, because a couple of people own double properties in there. And they all got sent the letter, the happy letter that I sent out via certified mail. So I'm waiting on responses, well, from everybody. Nobody's responded yet. So we'll see how that goes for me. That's coming up. One of the internet complaints the last time was about a resident on, God, I can't think of the name of your road.
Mill Branch.
Thank you. Mills Branch Road, Mills Branch Court. Mr. DiVictorio is putting in a fence in order to kind of cover up and conceal the cars and things, because they're going to be coming in and out with his business. I would imagine him and his brother are kind of tied into a garage here in town as well. So I'm going to go out and inspect his fence and make sure it's up to snuff. And I'll probably just get a take from some of the people that live on your street and see what they think on it too.
Okay.
He's very agreeable into making this all work out. So he's a good guy, like I said, but he's still got to follow the code. See here. And then I just got some updates on that. Other things. Let's see here. Road. A lot of Pettiford Road stuff, and they seem to be on there an awful lot. Like I explained in the last meeting, I believe I did, that Mr. Bright, we all know Mr. Richard Bright, owns that piece of property that goes up to Highway 58. And one of the complaints was, is this the new used car lot for Pettiford Road? Or at least the town of Pelletier. Unfortunately, since they were not dilapidated vehicles, they are still movable vehicles, they still run. There's really not all the code can enforce on a man that's putting stuff on his own property. So, but he's a nice, agreeable man, and he agreed to get it off his property as soon as possible, whatever that entails. But I think Mr. Bright's gonna play ball on that one. Let's see here. We've got Deaton Drive, Lee Court. These again, Pettiford Road stuff. These guys are now going to be within the penalty. White House Fork Road. He's still got a little bit of time, 835. 413 Pettiford Road is way over. He's definitely in penalty. And these are properties that are probably going to have to be dealt with, like we're about to deal with the properties aforementioned last week, which are the ones that we're going to contract this man to go in and actually do something about. We're working out a date now. It'll probably be like a Saturday. I'll just come out on a Saturday, and like I said, I'll stick with them so nobody gives them any stuff, and then we can move on with that process, and then that'll be good stuff. But he's looking to go, so, and I'll make my time available as he dictates. Let's see here. We've got 5 Aprils. These are the people. The one is the old lady across the street with the big bushes that never seem to get tended to. And across the road is a guy that likes to fix up old Dodge trucks and stuff like this. So the guy with the Dodge trucks is easy, he's gonna move it to the back. The lady with the hedges is an old woman that doesn't have a lot of money, so I'm still trying to help her out, trying to come up with something so she can get her stuff taken care of. I don't wanna hit her with a fine that she's not gonna be able to pay, blah, blah, blah. So I try to get her rectified before we start going down that road. And it was just the one complaint on the internet, but I know everybody sees it, cause I see it every time I drive down that road. That's it. Okay. Let's see here, what else do we got? We got 309 White House Forks Road, that's our property, it's way overdue, that's gonna be hit up with the, this go around with our cleanup guy. And I don't have grand totals yet, cause the price that was given to this board will not exceed what's been approved. But I feel that it might go down in one of the properties, cause one of the property owners has done some work. And I believe the man that's gonna be working for it should charge less, so I'll work that out. Highway 58, everybody's favorite warehouse building on the road there, where he likes to collect 35-foot boats in the backyard and all this good stuff. Not only I, but the fire code people will be going out there Thursday, I was just informed. So maybe we can get a little bit something more done than usual, than the promise is, and I'll get it done. Where he does things a little bit and then goes right back to being who he is. So we'll see how that goes for us, but I'll let the fire crew tell you about that end of it. Moving on to my little police end of it. 74 calls of service were gotten last month in November. 12 of those calls of service were for the ETJ, so 74 calls were generated within the town of Pelletier. Busy month for you guys, especially since we're in winter. So a grand total of 86 calls. I noticed, and I was picking through a lot of domestic violence stuff, and that comes from shut-in stuff where people in their houses and the spouses get angry with each other after a time, and then they call us for the party, I guess. But beyond that, I've included all of our little computer-generated things that I would see on my computer as I drive down the road, and that's what we go off of. Any questions? Oh, okay. Next month, I hope to report that we have done X, and X properties with our affiliate that we've contracted, because it should happen this month. I'm really pushing for it.
That 319 White House Forks Road, wasn't that the single wide trailer there?
319, yes. 319 Wild, across from the guy that builds the little trailers there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because someone has mowed that.
Yeah, somebody has mowed that.
Somewhat.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, but it's not completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. At that property, as well as there is that 119 Pettiford Road, I believe. He's actually moved some of the debris out of the backyard to a certain point, but he doesn't think he has to go any further.
I got you.
So, okay.
All right, thank you, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
All right, next, Wes Carter, Fire and EMS report. Chief Kevin Hunter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, commissioners and citizens. The month of November was somewhat busy, a little bit busier than October. Pelletier had a total of 31 calls, which this is the first time in a long time that Cape Carteret, Cedar Point, Pelletier, and the Stella area of our district were all in the 30s for total calls for the month. 16 of those for Pelletier were EMS calls, 3 were fire related, 1 motor vehicle crash, and then 11 come under the other category, and that could be many different things. It could be going out and checking a smoke detector, or we get a call that gets canceled en route and things like that, or it's a different call that is not actually signified. But it's a total of 31 calls for Pelletier. For the entire district, we responded to 174 calls. As I said, that's a little bit higher than normal. Normal for the month of November It's 160 to 170 calls in the month for a total, so 174 was a little bit high. A good example, we have had several days in the last month to month and a half where we've actually had 13 to 15 calls in a 24-hour period, which that's a lot of calls for a 24-hour period. And if it's EMS calls, it's a lot of calls because one EMS call takes a total of about 2 to 2.5 hours, including all the report writing and paperwork that goes with it. So that's a lot of calls in a 24-hour period. So we've had a few of those days recently. Also, I have the fire marshal's report, and the fire marshal's report for inspections in the town of Pelletier. He completed 5 during the month of November to bring his total for the town of Pelletier to 38. He has done, since he started with us late last winter, he has done 459 total inspections, and we are caught up. Since we began doing the inspections and took it over from the county basically for the 4 towns, this will be the first time we were completely caught up and completely caught up this early in the year. So he's done an outstanding job. During the month of November, he did 10 smoke detectors, did 2 plan reviews, took care of 5 Knox box situations. Fire prevention dropped off a good bit during the month of November. With fire prevention being mostly during the month of October, there were 6 total programs of some sort or engagements during the month of November. He handled 6 complaints or concerns, 1 fire protection alarm system checkout, training hours total for the month 33, that brought his total training hours for the year to 234. 18 general admin, 1 meetings, for Board of Commissioners, planning and so forth. And then during the month, he did 6 research hours on North Carolina fire codes and what have you. He is doing an outstanding job. I had mentioned to the attorney a few minutes ago that in the coming months, we're going to want to get him sworn, because your fire ordinance and the North Carolina fire codes, he as your fire marshal will have a lot more teeth to really get more done once he's sworn. So we've never done that before. That is a new thing for us since we've only been doing the inspections now for about 4 or 5 years, and the COVID years really put a dent in a lot of things. But we've been wanting to do that for quite some time, so in the coming late winter and spring, we're going to work on getting him sworn so that if we have to, there are things that he can do to take measures into our hands, in that, for example, if we have someone that just will not cooperate on inspections, if worse comes to worse, he can have the power pulled to a business or a structure or what have you. But him having been sworn gives him a lot more ability to really enforce those codes. And we're getting a lot of information. We get a lot of information from our guy at the state level with the North Carolina fire marshals, state fire marshal, and Bob works very closely with him as well. So he, as I said, he is doing a great job. If there are any questions at this time, I would be glad to answer them.
How many ambulances do you have, Chief?
We've got the correct amount of ambulances. One of the things that, if you remember, those of you who've been at several of the meetings over the last couple of years, a little over a year ago, I forwarded a letter to Onslow County because we were being utilized more than average on calls in Onslow County. That cut way back, and I would say that probably helped us save our ambulances to get to the point to where we are, because we had those 2 ambulances that were in the manufacturing process. The remounted ambulance that was in the motor vehicle crash, we just got that back last week. And then the new ambulance arrived about 3 weeks ago. So the ambulances are where they need to be. We've got the right number of ambulances, and we've got a backup. That's important. So yes, sir, that's been taken care of as well. Hallelujah.
Long time coming.
Okay. Also, we'll be announcing at our ILA meeting. We weren't able to talk about it until this past week, but Assistant Chief Peniel applied for a grant through the Big Rock because we had a need for a new rescue boat. The rescue boat that we've been using was a 40-year-old rescue boat that when I became chief, our guys totally refurbished it. That would have been 2011 and 2012. We knew when they did the refurbishment on that boat that it would last us at best 10 years. Well, the last year to year and a half, the floor had started to get spongy on it, and we knew we were going to have another boat. But we knew also that it was going to be a big chunk in our budget. Chief Peniel found that grant through a young lady who is part of the nonprofit association that's not even part of the ILA. She had been on the Big Rock board, and she asked us, why don't we apply for that grant? So we did, and we got a $69,000 grant for a new rescue boat. That the citizens don't have to pay for. Thank you very much.
Hey, Chief,
Yes, sir.
can we, while our attorney's here, can we swear the chief in?
Well, we got some things to do before we're able to do it, so
Okay.
maybe by the next meeting or the meeting after that.
Good deal.
All right.
All right, next is financial report, which right now we have 218,406 in our general account, 22,234 in the PAL bill. We can see that the ad valve will start coming in the first of next month. And of course, it takes us, we'll probably see it in our budget in February or March. So anyhow, any questions? All right, planning report,
No report, except we asked for citizens' input for land use again.
okay. Commissioners report, Commissioner Quinn.
I don't have anything other than congratulations to everyone again, and also hope everyone has a Merry Christmas.
All right, Commissioner Bragg.
Nothing at this time, no.
All right, Commissioner Mason.
I just want to tell the chief I'm happy for him with the new boat.
Thanks, sir.
Well needed.
Well, as much as people are on the water in this area.
Yes, sir.
We're a water sports community, and when they call for us, we want to be there for
That's
them.
great. I'm happy for y'all.
If you get on the boat, do you go from chief to captain?
I don't get on the boat. I'm not a boat expert. We have some young men who are boat experts. I don't get on the boat.
Gotcha, okay, so you
I
stay
keep my
chief.
feet on dry land.
Gotcha, that helps me out a lot.
All right, Commissioner Taylor.
The only thing I've got to remember, one thing, this is Pearl Harbor Week.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes.
Don't forget it.
All right.
Yeah,
Commissioner
I want to,
Vince?
I mentioned it to you about the animal control ordinance.
Yes.
I had a conversation with the sheriff, we were talking about something else, that just came into the conversation. We need to adopt an animal control ordinance for the town of Pelletier. He said, well, why we gotta have one for? Well, we gotta have one. They have calls, and the way it stands right now, the county's not answering calls in Pelletier. They're not going into municipalities anymore. And so they're not gonna do that. And if but the first thing we need to do is to have an animal control ordinance and adopt it. We can use the same one the county's got, just put our name on it. But I've talked with Cam Watson, and he's he has some ideas about some things that need to be incorporated into that. Now, that's what they do, you know, over there. So, my suggestion is that we adopt an ordinance, get one, and then cover it, and then adopt it. And then, the county will not come unless we contract with them, pay them to come out and do our enforcement or the animal control. And, so if we're gonna have to pay someone to do this, and we're gonna have to have an animal control thing, then I've talked with Camp, and we'll talk to anybody we want to. I just happen to think about him being in town, and living in town, and doing that stuff. And he said they would definitely be interested in doing something like this. Probably won't amount to, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 calls a year. I don't know how many we'll have, but it's not gonna be anything big and dramatic. But we do need to do this, I believe. And, if we can use somebody in our own town already here to do this, I'd rather pay him than to pay the county. We already pay the county in our taxes anyway, but they don't look at it the same way we look at it. But, I can understand where they're coming from. You know, we're our municipality, we need to provide certain services for our, you know, as being municipality. So, but anyway, I think we need to do that, and if, I'll be willing to work with Dee and Cam or anybody, whoever want to do this, to get a rough draft, and maybe by our next meeting have an ordinance that we can look at and see if that's something that everybody's agreeable with, and then we can adopt that, and then we can talk about getting somebody to be. Do he have to be sworn into? If it's like I call them dog catchers, but that's not.
Animal control officers, we typically swear those people in.
Yeah, he has to be sworn in.
Yeah, because they're gonna be enforcing the law.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't have to be sworn officers, I mean, they don't have to be the law enforcement officer, but we do swear them in.
Yeah. Well, I hope we have something back by the next meeting on that, and let's try to look at it.
Very good.
Question, does it not have to come to the planning board?
I don't know.
I don't think, we'll check, I don't think that's gonna have to go through the planning board. It's not a zoning or any type of ordinance, it's more of their police powers as opposed to their zoning powers.
Suits me, fine, thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the new business, adopt North Carolina General Records retention and disposition schedule for local government and North Carolina program records retention and disposition schedule for local government. So,
I can give you a brief background.
Yeah.
Every town and county is supposed to have a retention policy. We're talking about how long do we keep documents, right? So the state archives, I think is it's the state archives, gives out sample policies for every municipality and county, and typically counties and towns just adopt exactly what the state archives has proffered to the town. So that's what we're asking to do. We don't have one on record. And it's just saying, hey, look, when we get a letter, how long do we need to keep it? If we have reports and things of that nature, minutes, you know, just so people who are employed here can look and say, can I throw this away or not at this point? That's what it's for.
so what do we need to do? What actions do we need to take?
So we need to adopt both of those policies. And did she provide those to you in your packet?
I don't see them, no.
Okay, so why don't we put that on next month's business? There's nothing pressing on that. I want to make sure you see the policy before obviously you adopt it. It's this state policy. I know that Bea and I talked about it, but I think she has scoot out pretty quick for a family emergency.
Yes.
So we can put it on January. That's not a problem at all.
All right, so do I hear a motion to table this for 30 days?
Make a motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. All right, next is approval, approved meeting schedules for the remaining of the fiscal year 2023, 2024, January through June 2024. If you look in your package, it'd be this page right here. So anyhow, what it has January's meeting will be January 8th, then it's February 5th, March 4th, April the 8th, May 6th, and June 3rd. Does anybody have any problems with those? Huh?
I was just saying, make a motion to approve your.
Okay. I have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Public comment. Limit to 3 minutes. Anybody have something to say? Yes, ma'am.
I wrote this down so I wouldn't waste anybody's time. I'm Nicole Moore. I live on 206 Pear Tree Lane. I've lived in Pillows here since 2000. Moved to North Carolina in 1994 when my father retired from the Marine Corps. I appreciate this opportunity. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know if y'all caught your name. I know who you are.
Nicole Moore.
No, I know you.
Yeah, I live on 206 Pear Tree Lane. I appreciate this opportunity to explain why I've transformed my yard into a wild garden, a decision that has faced criticism from some quarters. This garden, now a certified wildlife habitat with the World Economic Forum for Wildlife and also North Carolina Wildlife Federation, and a pollinator safe haven, began as a humble patch of bay-leaf pine, sand, crabgrass, and a few shrubs. Today it stands as a vibrant ecosystem, a personal commitment to environmental conservation, and a testament to the positive change one individual can make. My journey in rewilding is driven by a deep concern for the alarming global decline in insect population, a crisis that not only threatens biodiversity, but also has far-reaching implications for our food systems, which we can all agree food prices are high enough as they are. By maintaining a pesticide-free environment, I am providing a sanctuary for these crucial pollinators and those who feed on them and have secondary poisoning because of it. And this impacts our food supply and consequently also food prices. The transformation of my garden into a less manicured but more natural space is a deliberate effort and a result of over 750 training hours that I've taken from either college courses, seminars, guided, some paid, some unpaid, to rethink conventional notions of beauty. This approach supports a diverse range of wildlife and plant species, including 3 endangered North Carolina plants like the green pitcher plant. Furthermore, the recent emergence of 4 different oak species seedlings is a natural affirmation of my efforts, symbolizing the rebirth and resilience of nature. As a resident committed to ecological preservation, I understand my approach may not align with everyone's vision of what a garden should be. However, it's important to recognize the value and necessity of such spaces in our increasingly urbanized world. While I don't expect everyone to rewild their gardens, I do ask for the understanding and peace to continue my work in enhancing this small but significant part of our world. In essence, my garden is more than a personal project. It's a microcosm of a healthier, more sustainable world. It's living proof that individual actions can contribute to the greater good, fostering biodiversity and ecological balance. As I continue this journey in Pelletier, I hope to inspire others to appreciate and possibly embrace the concept of rewilding in whatever form they can, even if it is just the acceptance of those of us who will. Thank you.
Okay. Just so that y'all know, I received a call Saturday about Nicole's property. So Degenmore works for me, and so I sent word through him to Nicole that someone had complained, which is why Nicole's here. So I didn't want her to get a visit from Chris, the bulldog, without some sort of warning. So anyhow, this is why she's here, and I knew it was a garden because I believe Sue has told me before what you did over there. So, and
she happens to be my next door neighbor. So.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when someone makes a complaint, I just can't sit on it or push it on the rug. I got to act, and my first action was to try to get word to you before it came to the town, which is good that you were able to explain what your garden's all about.
I think she did an excellent job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
like I said, it's a lot of training. I actually went through everything. I have 750 hours total of training in doing what I'm doing. So it's not, I'm not cutting my yard. It's, you know, I'm actually trying to do a lot, and I actually am the only certified wildlife habitat in Pelletier at this point. And I'm also the only pollinator on the pollinator butterfly highway in North Carolina in Pelletier. And that's because I'm completely pesticide-free, completely chemical-free. And like I said, I have over 3, but I have 3 confirmed endangered species that are in my garden because of my efforts. So, I mean, it's, the reason why this bothered me so much is because I see Pelletiers growing, and I don't want us to lose so much of what's important to us and why we're here. And like I said, I don't expect everybody to do what I'm doing, but I do want to be able to continue to, you know, build biodiversity where I'm at least, to have a sanctuary, so at least we have a little bit going on in Pelletier that's gonna make a change for all of us.
That's why we appreciate you coming, explaining everything, because a lot of people don't. And, you know, so anyhow, does this board have any problem?
I can understand your pain. I went to school for landscaping and horticulture in Pinehurst, and in 38 years of working in Carteret County, that is one of the hardest things in the world you could ever sell. And to get people to motivate into that is incredibly difficult. To even let them listen to you talk about it is incredibly tough. So I applaud you for your efforts.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I don't think you'll have a problem.
And just so you know, if anybody wants to do it, I'm open to, I've always let anybody walk on my property. I've always been willing to walk people around, see what I'm doing. I share seeds, it's always been about community effort for me.
You got the bees?
Actually.
I was wondering the same thing.
I don't wanna say it's a sore point with me, because I know a lot of people who have beehives, and they're very successful with what they do. But I actually have 50 documented native bees that live and hibernate in my garden. So I
Still pollinators, right?
They are pollinators, wasps, bees, and some of them, again, are on uncommon or rare, and I have one that I'm gonna wait to it emerge, and NC State is interested if I can get them pictures, because they thought that they were extirpated from the coast.
When can, does anybody just stop by anytime, or do they, if I wanted to go look at your place, or if I had some friends that wanted to go look at some place?
Well, I actually have signage that's in the mail for my certifications. I have signage in the mail, and I plan on putting a box or something where people can put like notes, or if they want a number, and putting I actually have emails called the Purple Shrub. And so if people want to come by and want to talk to me, because I do work full time, I also am going to school full time. So, you know, if people want to come by and schedule something with me, I'm open to that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May I say something, Dale?
Yes,
As a
please.
neighbor, it's not pretty right now, but no yard is pretty right now, because everything is dying. And I think that's where the big complaint is coming from, is that she's going through the natural transition of trees, leaves dying, and plants dying. It's not pretty, but that's okay. It'll get better. Wait in springtime.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I benefit from the plums and grapes and whatever else her daughter brings over to me.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I've seen it summer and winter time when I drive by on Sundays, and you know, it's just one person had something to say, and that's why I had to say something. You know,
understand why probably that one person had something to say.
Yeah.
Her mother's property is for sale, and probably somebody looking at the property doesn't like the looks of it because they don't understand what it is.
Yeah. No. Very true. Okay. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
I am on Pettiford Road, and I did get one of the letters, and I took pictures of my property, and I want to know.
Can I come see you?
You can.
No, I mean, I'll pay you a visit and we'll talk about it.
Okay, that's
that
good, because there's like nothing in my yard.
That's cool.
No trees, no anything.
Yeah, okay, so then I'm at the mistake. But I'll pay you a visit. What's your number, ma'am?
126.
126.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I don't know if this was the right time or the place to.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm here for the same thing. I received one of your happy letters also Saturday.
It's good to know they're going out.
Well, I actually have pictures of my property too, and yes,
And your number is
324 Pettiford Road.
324, so I will see you tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow, is that okay?
I
You work.
two
What time?
jobs, two full-time
Is
jobs.
somebody at home that I can speak with tomorrow, the next day?
I will be home about between 4:30 and 6 before I start my other jobs. He goes to school full-time, then goes straight to work.
And go straight to work. How about you guys on a Saturday morning? Can I catch you then?
I'm off on Saturdays.
All right, then I'll drop by this Saturday coming.
Okay.
324.
Okay.
All right, anybody else? All right. Right now, no old business, no other business. Commissioners' comments? Anybody have anything else they would like to say?
Merry Christmas.
Well, yep. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned.